Yeah, we're good. Okay. Hi guys. Alyssa here from Southern Maryland Vegan Events, and wow, the holidays are here. It's crazy. I know, I can't believe it. And this year has been crazy. That's obviously the understatement of the year. So I don't need to go into that anymore, but I want to just share a few of my favorite holiday appetizers, food, snacks, some of my favorite go-tos, because I think it's important, even if we can't get together to celebrate at holiday parties or family gatherings the way that we're normally able to do so, or what we would like to do so. I think if we can still create and do things at home and do whatever is comfortable for our family unit, and whatever works best for you, then I think that it's still good to share ideas and share these fun recipes and fun tips and things like that, because we need all the joy that we can get. So whatever you're able to do, I hope that maybe you'll take some of these with you and try and recreate, because they're so good and they're all simple. I'm going to cover a few. So I'm going to run through them quickly, but I think it's important to try and just condense everything into one video, and hopefully you can be inspired and create some on your own. And even if you're not getting together, make them for something fun to do on a weekday. Get the kids involved. These are very family friendly. It's football season, so if your team is on and playing, then make these for the game. Whatever you're able to do, Zoom parties, give them a try. So I am going to do this hopefully really quickly and go from there. So one of my favorite dishes ever is mac and cheese. Obviously, is everybody's probably favorite, but I like to, for parties and for the holidays, I like to do a Thai mac and cheese. Of course, this is vegan, and it adds a little kick and a little spice, but it's so good, especially when it's cold out and we need a little warmth. And it's not too spicy, but it's just enough to give that extra little flavor, and it's so good. It's so easy. There's only a few ingredients. Let me read them to you. Yellow onion, Thai red curry paste, raw cashews, pasta, salt, pepper, full fat coconut milk, 1 can of that, and your garnish options, which I'll go over in a second, but that's it. And it's just so creamy and it's so good. So the recipe is by Veg News, and I will include that in the description. And it is called Creamy Thai Mac, or Creamy Thai Mac and Cheese. And if you want to Google it, but I'll include the link in here too. So you can make it in one big pot, serve it up that way, and have it serve it out of a dish like that. I like to kind of make it a little bit more fun and just make it up according to the directions and the recipe directions, and it'll be a little creamy. You want it to be a little creamy, and it makes a lot of sauce, which is really good for reheating and adding on top. So all you're gonna do is take some of your pasta mixture and then just scoop some of that into some cupcake cups. And boom, that's it. And so you can make little mac and cheese balls, which are so good. These are just like individual sized types of fun dishes. So that's so simple. So then you just bake that in the oven for a few minutes. I usually do 350 or 375 for 5 or 10 minutes. You don't want it to get too cooked, but like I said, it makes extra sauce, so drizzle a little bit more sauce on there before you put it in the oven, even when it comes out, and then garnish with some red chili pepper flakes for a little added spice if you want, some peanuts. It's a nice touch on top of this Thai pasta. It really is good. And some fresh cilantro. Garnish those on top, and you're good to go. Everybody loves it. And then you have little mac and cheese balls or little mac and cheese bites. So good. So good. One of my absolute favorites. And then also, so for the next one, this is just a simple take whatever crackers that you have. I just happen to have some roasted garlic Triscuits. Whatever vegan crackers you have, which is so easy to find everywhere anyway. And then take some non-dairy pesto. You can get the pre-made. I love this kind. It's awesome. It even says vegan right on the back. I've shown you this to you guys several times before because it's my favorite go-to, and I don't have basil at home and I can't just whip it up. But if you want to make your own dairy-free, cheese-free pesto, that's totally fine to do too. I love doing that and super easy. I cover homemade pesto in some of the other videos as well, so you can check out that. Really, really simple. But if not, grab some pre-made vegan pesto, dollop a little bit of that on a cracker, and then grab some of your favorite vegan cheese. So I am using today the Violife Just Like Feta, and it really is just like feta. I'm not even kidding. I just cut up a few blocks, put those on top, cut up some tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, cut them in half, put those all together, and so good and so easy, and it's full of flavor and just delicious, and everybody loves it, you know. You can also use, Dea makes a smoked Gouda, which is really, really good too. If you don't want to do that, you could also, I do this all the time too, cut this block into little square cubes, grab some, you know, party toothpicks, fancy toothpicks, and add a block of, a square of the cheese, and then a tomato, a cherry tomato, the whole thing, grab some fresh basil, and then a basil leaf, put that on a toothpick, set those all out, get the kids involved with that. That's something fun and easy for them to put together and help out with. And then drizzle with some balsamic glaze. Drizzle that over all of the toothpicks, and that is so good. I make that all the time too, and everybody loves it. So that is that. Moving on. So another favorite of mine that's super simple, sorry that was really loud. I love, love, love spinach and artichoke dip. And you can make your own. Just grab a small crock pot if you have a small crock pot. And a bag of frozen spinach, depending on how many people this is for. I usually end up doing like 2 bags of frozen spinach. Heat this up to, I think it's like 6 or 7 minutes in the microwave, and throw that into your crock pot, and then add your favorite vegan non-dairy cream cheese. I love to use the Kite Hill chive because it has that added flavor in there as well with the chive, but you could also use the plain cream cheese, vegan cream cheese, any flavor that you want. I just love the combination of these, and it's really easy because you don't really have to add anything else to it. If you want to add some more garlic powder in there, you can as well. And then if you want to, you can just do spinach dip just like that, or you can also grab a jar of artichoke hearts, chop those up, throw those in there too, and have your spinach and artichoke dip. And it's so good and so easy. And you can have that just sitting on the crock pot for however long you want it, and then people can just come and go and it stays hot. You can also eat that cold too. There's nothing wrong with that. I forgot to get these out for you. Prepping. Another thing you can do is take the spinach dip if you don't want to leave it in a crock pot, and you can get even fancier and fun with it. Grab some of these phyllo shells, and they're everywhere. They're naturally vegan. They even say it right on the box. And scoop the spinach dip into the shells. Bake those in the oven at like 350 for, I think it's like 10 or 15 minutes, something like that. It says on the back. And there you go. So that's a little extra fun that you can do too. Finger food fun that I love, and super simple. The other thing you can do in a crock pot, I do this all the time, especially for games, for football game watching, things like that. Make some chili. And if you don't want to make your own, grab some of Amy's chili, and this stuff is everywhere too. some of that, a can of that, or two, depending on how many people. A can of black beans, drain and rinse these. And if you want, you could also add a can of red kidney beans, or neither, whatever you want. I always like to add extra beans to add more to it anyway. And then add your favorite vegan queso. There's so many out there now too. There's this one by Mother Raw. You can add the whole jar, you add half a jar, but have it be a cheesy chili dip, and have that go into the crock pot. And so easy, and it's so tasty, it's so good. One of my other favorite quesos is the cashew fiesta dip from Trader Joe's. So if you're able to get to Trader Joe's up in Annapolis or in Alexandria or DC, pick up this stuff. It freezes well. I always grab several and then just throw them in the freezer and thaw them whenever I want to use it. Dump that in there too, and it's the perfect combination. So easy. I mean, you obviously can make this stuff from scratch, but who wants to do that if you already have several other things that you're planning, or if it's hectic, or if you don't, you don't have time, then just cheat and go to the pre-made stuff. I'm always an advocate for making your own stuff too, but I definitely am a sucker for the pre-made stuff and for as easy as possible all the time. So that is there. Next, meatballs. Meatless meatballs, of course. Gardein makes some of the best meatless meatballs, and these are found everywhere. I throw a bag of these into a large crock pot and let them simmer with either a teriyaki sauce or a barbecue sauce, or you could do a marinara sauce, whatever you want. And then who doesn't love and then toothpicks, grab a meatball, and who doesn't love that? It's so good, so good. And then the longer they sit and marinate together, the tastier they are. So that's super simple. You can if you want to kind of speed up the process, which I think this is what I normally do. I haven't done this in a while just for lack of getting together, but definitely going to do this coming up for just hanging out here soon. But I think what I normally do, I throw these on top of a skillet and kind of pan sear or saute them for a few minutes ahead of time, and then they get kind of that crispy outside and then cooked in the middle a little bit, and then I'll throw them into the crock pot on low heat and then have them simmering for a while. So that's that. I think that was what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quick appetizer, snack, holiday party food type things you can do. And I mean, you can literally throw all of this together, including cooking, the mac and cheese in less than an hour, and just have everything going. It's super, super simple. And then if you want dessert, if you want something sweet, which you gotta have that, right? I love Rabbit and Wolves. Lauren Hartman does a brown butter salted chocolate chip cookies, and it comes out in a sheet. And I just made this a little bit ago, so it's fully cooled now. Super simple, just a few ingredients in that: vegan butter, brown sugar, flour, baking soda, ground flaxseed, organic cane sugar, vanilla, dark chocolate chips, vegan chocolate chips, of course. And these are found everywhere. I love these. There's so many different kinds now, but this is what I have on hand at the moment. And then whip all that up. I'll include the link for that recipe in the description as well. Again, it's rabbitandwolves.com, and it is brown butter salted chocolate chip cookies. And so, like I said, it spreads out into a sheet, and then what you can do is just she mentions this too, take some cookie cutters and just make some fun shapes, like a heart, and there's a star, do things like that, and make it fun, make little bite-sized mini cookies out of it. This is actually just a half of the recipe. I cut it in half because I if I have the whole thing here, I'm gonna eat it all in one setting. So I'm trying to be better. So I cut the recipe in half. So normally this is much bigger and you get much more, but even this is a lot, you know, even if it's just a few of you, this makes a lot. So it's so good, so good, and highly recommend. And so that is it. I wanted to keep this as short as possible. I know I can talk and talk and talk, and I was trying to not do that. So I hope that you will try some of this. Of course, you can always contact me. It's the Southern Maryland Vegan Restaurant Week Facebook page and Southern Maryland Vegan Events, SOMD, at Gmail. If you have any questions or want to get some more info or find out where maybe some of this stuff is, if you don't necessarily know where it's at in the grocery stores, but all this is local except for the Trader Joe's cheese, unfortunately. But if you get a chance to pop up there, definitely recommend grabbing a bunch of those. So I think that is it. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season, and try to just enjoy every moment that you can, and be kind to one another, be kind to the animals, and know that every meal that you have that doesn't involve animal ingredients is truly making a difference, and it matters significantly. So just being kind to all is truly just so important. So I wish everyone a very peaceful and happy holiday season. And with that, I'll let you go. All right, thanks guys. Take care.